Hello, I'm the Canadian Dividend Investor, and on this channel, we focus on the Canadian and American stock markets. To start, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Today, we'll be looking at my TSX TFSA portfolio and what stocks I'm looking to purchase this week. Stick around. I think you're going to like what I have. All right, friends, what I'll be discussing today is my strategy on my Wealthsimple account, which is under my wife's TFSA. Every 2 weeks, my wife and I deposit into Questrade for American stocks and Wealthsimple for Canadian stocks. Under Wealthsimple, I dollar cost, which means I have a few companies that I'll buy some shares on every couple of weeks. Today, I'll talk to you about which companies I'm looking to enter into. The first stock I'll be looking to buy into this week is the second largest bank in Canada, and with a market cap of almost $133 billion, is TD Canada Trust, TD.TO on the TSX. As you can see at the closing on Friday, the price per share was $73.58, which is almost back up to the pre-pandemic highs when it was in around. When I checked MarketBeat.com and Yahoo Finance to compare to the analysts on their expectations of earnings for TD Bank, in both situations, if TD wasn't meeting the expectations, they were close and around it. Over the last quarter of 2020, TD beat out, as you can see, by $60 million in earnings. TD is a very dependable company, and I'll continue to buy in. Dividends are something investors love to get, and with TD, they pay a strong dividend and increase it each year. Their dividends is paid at 79 cents per share, which comes out to a yield of 4.3%. and is paid next week. While TD isn't the highest paying dividend in the Canadian banks, they are the fastest growing bank. Over the last 10 years, they've increased their dividends 139%, while BMO has increased theirs 51%, and CIBC and Bank of Nova Scotia are both in around 62%, while Royal Bank is at 100%. So as I said at the beginning, I've been dollar costing in, so approximately every 2 weeks, I've been buying one share of TD, or if I see an opportunity to pick up another one, I continue to do it. So as you can see, at the beginning of August, I bought one share for $65 and I've seen a 13.2% increase. The stock went down and I continued to buy in. I was able to buy in as low as $59.30 in late October, and then it continued to turn around. Once it got into November, I saw the shares start to go up to the mid $60 to high $70 range and thought that it was might be getting too high. But had I not continued to buy in, I would have missed at the $70, the $71, $72, and it has continued to go higher. So this is something I'll continue to do. Right now, I own 13 shares at an average cost of $65.89, which is about 11.6% increase since the beginning or since the end of August. So TD is something that I'll continue to go in. The second stock I'll be buying this week is one of the three major telecom companies in Canada, and that is TELUS, which also owns Koodo Mobile, Public Mobile, and their own alarm system. What may help drive their stock going into 2021 and 2022 is the fact they're getting into the telehealth sector as well. In their financials, TELUS has continued to show positive earnings, and most analysts have this as a buy. As you can see, TELUS is also at a market cap of $34 billion. Like TD, TELUS pays a very healthy dividend. Their current price is just over 31 cents per share, which comes in at a 4.7% yield. Most dividend-paying companies want to increase their dividend each year. TELUS goes above that. This year, they raised it just once at the end of the year at 6.85%. However, every year before that, since 2010, they were increasing their dividend every 6 months. This is one of the reasons I like TELUS. TELUS is my biggest holding in this account. I own 98 shares, so this week I'll likely buy 2 to 3 shares and get to the magical number of 100. I got into TELUS last year in April when I bought 58 shares at $23.04. I saw it dip to $22.50 and I put 10 more shares into it. In August, I made the decision with TELUS and TD that I would continually buy every couple of weeks. So I've rode the wave up and down. As you can see, it gets up to almost $24, it dips back down, it gets up to $25, and I continue to buy whether it's up or down every paycheck. The last stock I'll talk about is Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF that goes by the ticker VFV. If you're unfamiliar with what VFE does, is it manages a portfolio that has the top 500 companies in the world, companies such as Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft, for example. Most of these companies are traded on the US stock market, and if you're Canadian, you may not be comfortable investing there yet. Also, companies like Amazon sell for well over $3,000 a share, so you can buy into this ETF at around $85, $86 right now, and you could own part of the company. So the 508 shares that are or companies that are actually in the VFE portfolio, Apple holds the highest position, and it takes up 6.6%, while Microsoft is followed at 5.2%, and Amazon. These are companies that you've all heard of and know are powerhouses: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Tesla, Google, Berkshire Hathaway, Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan. Those are just the top 10 holdings. Now, VFE does pay a dividend quarterly, but it's at just about 1.1, 1.2% of yield. So you won't be making too much on it. But my purpose for buying into this ETF is for the growth long term. Now, I only own 10 shares in VFE in this account. However, I'm very long in it in other accounts. In my RESP account, I own 100 shares. I find that it's one of the most reliable share stocks to own. I started doing a similar format as I did with TD and TELUS, as in early September is when I started buying in under this account, and I just continue to buy in each paycheck. And overall, you can see I've made almost 5.5%. However, that factors into my most recent purchases, where the stock just hasn't risen quite as far yet. From September, I've already made over 11%. I hope you got entertainment out of this video. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own research. I'll try to have more videos out to show this account growing, along with my Questrade accounts and my RESP account that's in my TD web broker. Leave a comment in the bottom if you're in on any of these companies or not. And don't forget to hit that like button. I'll talk to you in the next video.